As I'm sure you've heard by now, our Premier Wall has spoken a number of times about equalization payments. I'm wondering, what is your evaluation of the current formula?
Well, look, it's a long-standing debate on exactly how you calculate that formula. I may be one of the very few people in the country who understand exactly how the formula works. It is extremely complicated. We made some adjustments when we first came to office. We've made some other adjustments, and every few years we examine that. But look, I think that is not really the central question that I think the Premier, and frankly for that matter most people in Saskatchewan, should be concerned about. The real issue around this is resource development. This is a province that depends on the development and sale of its natural resources. With the NDP, and I quote once again, their star candidate in Toronto says, leave the resources in the ground. You know, this is not an isolated incident. This is the real view of the NDP on resource development. This is why Mr. Mulcair himself went to Washington to argue against Canadian resource projects in the United States. This is the real view of the NDP. Leave the resources in the ground. By the way, it's also, in a practical matter, the view of the Liberals, because whenever there is a controversy, the Trudeau Liberals always come out and oppose a project, and both these parties oppose projects before we even do scientific, independent environmental evaluations. That's what we do in this government. And we're guided by those things. You know, sometimes we approve projects, sometimes we don't, but we believe in responsible resource development. The other parties believe in no resource development. That's their position. And that's the choice in this election campaign. And I don't think Saskatchewan wants to go back to the decades of no-growth NDP, and they certainly do not want to see it on the national level. That's why we've got to get a Conservative government.